Welcome to Luzerne Street in Westmont, Pennsylvania, a small town in the mid-Atlantic region. People who live on this street can look out on the longest municipal stand of American elm trees in the United States. 195 of them, most at least a century old, arching over the street like the ceiling of a cathedral. Neighbor Tom Loughran says the American elms are a prized asset to his community.
They mean the value of my home, they mean the shade, they mean air conditioning, and they mean beauty.
Tom Loughran's love of the American elm is typical of how others have felt about the trees in their neighborhood. Westmont's Public Works Director, Robert Beatty, thinks he knows why.
There's no hardier street tree than an American elm. They'll withstand all the abuses of the winter salts, the acid, the ashes, but they're a tough tree, very tough tree.
But not tough enough to withstand a fungus that was introduced to the United States more than 70 years ago. Dutch elm disease, as it's called, was first discovered in Holland. It spread from tree to tree by elm bark beetles. By the 1980s, the fungus had killed 77 million American elms and left many communities across the United States barren. Tom Zetterstrom remembers helping his father, an arborist, take down all of the elms in his hometown of Canaan, Connecticut.
So I actually have had the experience of putting these trees to rest, in a sense, cutting them down and chipping them up and carting them away and leaving a stump in their place, which is not much of a tombstone for something as magnificent as these trees were.
Tom Zetterstrom's love of trees later became a lifelong passion.
Because I am a photographer and I've been observing the world and photographing a variety of locations and subjects, I kept being drawn back to trees as one of my underlying interests.
His portraits of trees include an American elm, graceful and alone on an open crest of farmland.
It stood up there like a weather vane, and I was intrigued with photographing it in different seasons and concerned for its survival.
In 1999, Tom and a friend decided to try to reverse 50 years of elm decline by working to save what trees were left. They founded an organization called Elm Watch and have managed to protect 85 trees in their area. The group also encourages the planting of new trees more resistant to the disease. On a cold spring day, Elm Watch members planted one of the new trees, a young Princeton elm, next to the stump of an ancient elm believed to have been planted more than 200 years ago by Shaker settlers. And on another, much warmer day, they helped a group of students plant a Princeton elm in the parking lot of their high school.
Okay, so here, this is some 20-year-old horse manure.
Though the young tree is not immune to Dutch elm disease, Tom Zetterstrom has his fingers crossed that it will be resistant to it. The neighbors of Luzerne Street know that feeling of pride. Over the years, as some of the older trees died from Dutch elm disease, they were replaced with younger, more resistant ones. And the local government made a commitment to ensure that the trees on Luzerne Street not only survive, but thrive for years to come.